Hi guys, it's been a little while since I have done a get ready with me style video. I mean I tell a lie, I can't actually remember the last time I did one of these, but we're going to be using a few different products today, not just eyeshadow. I do have the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Tinted Foundation Balm to try, which I'm excited about. That is probably the only thing I haven't tried yet, apart from the new Poppy and Fluff Cosmetics Blushing Poppies blush palette. A few of the other things are fairly recent in my collection that I have tried once before, and some are older things. So if that sounds good to you, let's get into it. I'm going to start off just by hydrating my lips a little bit with the She Glam and Adventure Time lip gloss. This is the pink one that's the Princess Bubblegum. I do have a video on the full collection if you're interested in seeing that, but yeah, my lips are feeling a bit dry at the moment, so let's put some of this on. I haven't tried this one yet because this was one of the ones that was more sheer and not as opaque, so I wasn't as thrilled about it, but I mean, there is tiny glitter particles in this gloss, but it is not, you know, pink. So I'm excited to try this foundation from ColourPop because I have seen some videos of people trying this and apparently it is amazing. So tinted foundation balm, and I got it in the shade Fair 3. It is vegan, cruelty-free, hydrating, smoothing, buildable, light to medium coverage, natural finish with 18 shades. And this, oh, it's actually on offer at the minute for $11.20. It's usually $14, so I mean, that's good. So this is what it looks like, and it feels quite nice packaging, to be honest. I haven't always got on the best with stick foundations. I do have a dry leaning complexion, I mean especially in my T-zone, but I do keep on top of that with skincare. I do have some fine lines and wrinkles, and I am, how old am I now? 35? And I prefer a matte looking finish. That's just personal preference. I just feel like I prefer it on me as well. I don't like a tacky sticky face. So we're going to see how this one goes. I don't know if I've got the right shade. I do also have some fake tan on at the moment still lingering, so you can kind of see my neck is a little bit darker than my face. This yeah, colour wise, I mean, we're just working with what we've got today. So I'm imagining I'm going to blend it in with a brush. I mean, I don't know the best way to apply this, or even if I'm going to be putting too much on, but we experiment. It glides on really easily. So it's not tuggy, which is good to know. And we'll start with a brush and we'll see how that works. Light to medium coverage as well. Usually I like quite full coverage, but this could be a good option for summer. I don't think that is a bad shade. I don't think it matches my fake tan, but I think that shade for me when I haven't fake tanned will be just perfect. Yeah, it definitely doesn't have as much coverage as what I'm used to, so I will just go over the more red looking areas of my face just a little bit more, just to build it up slightly. It's feeling quite, do I want to use the word moist? Okay, I feel like that's a little bit better coverage, but as you can see there's still quite a bit of shine with this now that I have applied it. It is definitely different from what I'm used to, which is more of a matte, a soft matte leaning foundation, but it's okay because I can set it if I need to. But yeah, coverage wise I think that's built up nicely where I wanted it to be built up, and I'm hopeful. We'll see how it wears throughout the rest of the video. Then I'm going to go in with something that I have tried a few times now. This is the Skin Silk Under Eye Brightener and Concealer by Makeup Revolution in the shade Light Peach, and it does have a metal applicator, which is nice and cooling. I don't think it's my favourite concealer that I've ever used. However, it's definitely not the worst. It is very easy for my under eye to look cakey and liney, so I have to be careful with how much product I use. But this is definitely a more light coverage concealer, which may lend itself better to this foundation. I'm just going to set my under eye with a little bit of powder. And before I set the rest of my face, I want to go in with my Makeup Revolution bronzer stick. I have tried this in a video before, which was my first impressions of this. I got this in the shade Sunkissed, and I really enjoyed this the first time that I used it. I don't feel like it's tuggy on the skin whatsoever, and I feel like it blended absolutely beautifully, so I was a big fan of this. So let's see if I still feel the same way about this. bronzer. I don't know if I'm in love with the colour, to be honest. I feel like the formula is really good, but colour-wise, I am not 100% sold. And I'm still feeling pretty strange because I have a very dewy non-matte base at the moment, which I'm definitely not used to. Yeah, I think the formula is really nice. I just don't think the shade that I have chosen is quite making me happy because, yeah, I don't know if I want something a little bit more cool toned than this. Okay, so this is how we're looking so far. I still feel quite tacky and sticky, and I'm extremely dewy looking in the viewfinder, which is not my journey. So I am going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder in the shade Fair, and this is how much I've got left. I do need to purchase some more. Hopefully this will improve how I like this foundation. Okay, that is definitely better now I've set it. I definitely feel a little bit more like me. But as I said, I don't really feel like that colour is for me, so I am going to go in with my trusted and true Ofra bronzer in River. It's a duo, I think it was a Samantha March collab, and this is how much I love it. I don't pan things, but you've now seen two things that I have panned, so now you will realise how much I absolutely love those products. And I'm excited to try the brand new blush palette from Poppy and Fluff Cosmetics. This was very kindly sent to me in PR. The rest of the things I've used so far I have bought myself, but look at the beautiful packaging of this. Poppy and Fluff Cosmetics are a UK based indie brand, and these are the shades that we get inside, and as you can see we have some orangey tones, which makes me very, very happy. I would very rarely use a shade like Blushing or Pink Me, but the other four I would 1,000,000% use. They look to be matte apart from Luminous, which is more of a peachy shimmer blush. So I feel like the two I want to use is definitely Whimsical first, and then we'll go on top with a little bit of Luminous to have more of a peachy cheek. So this is going to be launching on Saturday the 5th of April, 6 PM UK time. I will have it linked down below for you. And it is £18. So I feel like I need to swatch the shades for you, but they do look absolutely beautiful, and I feel like there's definitely a shade in there for everyone. Like, you're going to be happy with at least 2 or 3 of the shades, if not all of them. So I've swatched the shades for you on my hand. So this one is Delicate, then we have Luminous, then we have Whimsical and Cherished, Pink Me and Blushing, and I definitely think the orangey leaning ones are the ones that are calling my name today, but they look stunning. Now I have a feeling after swatching these that they're going to be quite pigmented, so I feel like I'm going to go in with a more sparse brush. I'm going to use the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH06 just so it's not too dense and packs on too much product all in one. And like I say, I'm going to use the peachy shade, so I'm going to go in with Whimsical first, and then I'm going to go in with Luminous next to it. Okay, Whimsical. Let's tap that off a little bit. And then we'll just dab on gently. Can you tell I'm a little bit scared, just in case it is super pigmented? That shade is beautiful. Have I gone a bit blush heavy? Look, yes, but do I always? Also, yes. Then going into Luminous that is next to it. Oh yeah, just to add that little, peachy sheen on top. I'm not sure how well that's going to be showing on camera. That has added the most beautiful peachy sheen. So if you like a peachy cheek that is a little bit, it is stunning. Okay, Luminous is probably my favourite shade in this palette. Okay, then I'm going to go in with a little bit of my Sigma Tint and Tame Brow Gel, which was very kindly sent to me by the brand. I've been really enjoying this because it's not one of those that makes your brows crispy, and it's not a super hold freeze type of situation. It definitely holds my brow hairs in place without being super duper crunchy, which is something that I look for in a brow gel. I want something that isn't too extreme, and I feel like this does enough hold to tame my brows in the right direction. So I've been enjoying this. I do have a code with Sigma if you wanted to save yourself some pennies when shopping from the website, and that is affiliated, so thank you so much for supporting my channel if you do use my code, but that is a little bit better. I don't even really feel like I need highlight because that blush is just the most delicious peachy, reflective, it's goldy peaches, absolutely stunning. I'm just going to be staring at that all day now. So for the palette I was thinking of today, I thought why not dive back into the Cosmic Beauty The Lovers palette, because I need to do some more looks with this. It's absolutely stunning, and if you know me, you know I love Cosmic brushes quality when it comes to eyeshadow, and look how stunning this palette is. Again, you can save yourself some pennies with my code, which is affiliated if you want to buy anything from the website. What are we going to do with this today? Okay, let me prime while I think of a colour combination. I feel like I want to use the greens. I have used some of the greens before in a previous look, but I just love the greens. And I definitely want this one in my inner corner. Okay, I think the shade that I'm gonna start with is, I think I'm gonna start with Mutual, which is a matte with some sparkle in it. And I think I'm just gonna more or less press that all over the outer corner and into the crease. And I would usually wrap it around my lower lash line as well, but I'm thinking I might actually do a different shade on the lower lash line, which usually I always like to connect up the outer corner, but I'm thinking maybe browns on the lower lash line. Okay, then I think I'm going to go into Devoted for the inner corner and definitely Trust for the outer corner. I'm just going to pack Devoted. Oh, that is such a stunning pastel-y mint. I'm going to blend it into, oh, that other green. And this isn't even that dense of a brush. It's actually quite a fluffy brush, but the pigment don't lie. And then going into that Trust shade, which is the deeper green matte for the outer corner. I love a murky green. Just fluffing on the edges with a bigger brush just to make sure I'm happy with the blend before we start on the browns for the lower lash line. Okay, so the browns I'm going to be using is Self Love and Soulmate. Starting out with the Self Love shade first and just smoking that out a little bit down here. Then adding the Soulmate shade right next to that lash line. And although I haven't got the same shade wrapping around, which I usually like, I feel like I've matched the depth where it connects, so I feel like it still makes sense. So I'm probably going to be using the two green shimmers, which are called Promise, which is the lighter one, and then Communication, which is the deeper green. So first I'm going to go with Promise on my finger, and I don't want to take it to the inner corner because I like the matte inner corner. And this one is probably going to be the main star of the show today, because I'm just going to use the deeper one just to merge the very outer edge where the matte and the shimmer meet. How stunning is that green? Okay, taking Communication after I have sprayed it because I don't want fallout. And like I say, I'm just merging the shimmer and the matte like a little sandwich. Okay, this is how we're looking right now. I'm going to jump off and finish up the eyes with something in my waterline and some lashes, and then we'll come back and pick a lip. So I went in my waterline with an Odin's eye pencil. This is in Avocado, I believe, because I just wanted to keep it more green to match what was going on the lid. And then I have just lined my lips with the Plouise lip liner in Luscious Love, but sticking to the peachy theme like the cheek, I feel like I want to use one of my newer lip products, which is the Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Satin Cream Lipstick. And this is in the shade Tropic, so it is more of a peachy shade, and it is a little bit plumping on the lips, I will say. It's not the full-on stabby, aggressive, you're in agony type of formula, which I literally can't stand. It is just, it's a little bit spicy. I feel like that matches the cheek really well. Let's zoom you out and we can see how it looks a bit more from a distance, because no one's getting this close to me. I feel like I've done what I really love to do when I play around with makeup. I just want to sit down at my desk, have some fun, try new products, try products that I love and that I've used for quite some time, do some sort of green eyeshadow look and some sort of orange cheek lip combination. And I feel like that is just my happy place. So today, this is what we've done. I'm in my happy place. I feel like this look is definitely a bit of me. And looking at the foundation, let me grab a mirror. Okay, looking at the foundation, now that I've set it, I feel like it's looking really, really nice. Before I'd set it, it just wasn't my preference. If you like more of a dewy, glowy looking base when it's applied, then you might really like it. But for me, I'm not the biggest fan of it on myself, and I definitely can't stand it when I've got a tacky face. My hair gets stuck to it, it feels itchy and it irritates me. So setting it down with that Charlotte Tilbury powder, I feel like it's done everything I wanted it to do. And I was able to build it up in areas to make it more full coverage over the areas that I needed it to be, and in other areas it is that more light medium coverage. And I was able to blend it out also with a brush. So actually, so far so good for this product. Like, this might be the first stick foundation that I'm actually really impressed with so far, and it's actually one of the more affordable options. Well, not so much if you're adding on shipping costs if you live in the UK like I do. But yeah, it hasn't settled into any lines as of yet. It's looking really nice. It's blended beautifully with all of my other base products. I'm having no issues, but I will continue to wear this foundation for the rest of the day, and I will let you know in a pinned comment down below if there are issues. If issues arise, then I will let you know down below. But if it holds up and it stays like this could be one of my new favourite foundations, especially for summer. It's just quick and easy. You put the stick on, you blend it out, you powder it if you're called Kerry, and then away you go. Always happy to dive back into a Cosmic Brushes / Cosmic Beauty palette. I don't know if there's still a bit of a name overlap change there, but I definitely wanted to use this palette again. I'm so glad I have, and yes, I finally used some of the browns. I don't believe that I did. Did I use the browns in my first two looks? I can't remember, but I feel like it ties in nicely with the green, and it's giving spring woodland. Just me. And then the blush palette, I think I may have found my new favourite blush combination, because I love an orangey peachy leaning blush, but if I can have that as more of a shimmery leaning gold reflecting kind of blush, then that is even more up my alley. So the two shades together, Whimsical and Luminous, is probably the perfect combination for me. I will definitely get around to trying the other shades. I think I'll really enjoy the shade Delicate and even the shade Cherished. I do think, because I don't typically reach for pinky purple blushes, that I won't get as much use out of these two, but there's always a time and a place, because if I'm doing a bright pink or purple look, then that could be the time to dig out one of these two. I haven't got any complaints about any of the products that I used in this video. Like I say, there was a mixture there of old favourites, some things that I'm in the middle of reviewing, and then some brand new things to try. Please do let me know down below what you think to the look, what you think to the products that I've tried. Do you have different opinions on them? Do you have the same opinions? Are there any that you're wanting to pick up? As always, thank you so much for checking out this video, guys, and hopefully I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!